Muscle contraction and sarcomere structure. There are two main types of muscle contraction, one being isometric contractions, where the amount of tension increases during the contraction, but the length of the muscle does not change. Another type of contraction would be isotonic contractions, in which the amount of tension produced by the muscle is constant during the contraction, but the muscle shortens. Isometric would look like this, and isotonic would look like this. Additionally, there are two types of isotonic contractions, which you can see in our muscle man. When the muscle is shortening, it is called a concentric contraction. When the muscle is lengthening, it is called an eccentric contraction. Taking a closer look at the muscle, we'll find myofibrils. Each myofibril is made up of a chain of small contracting units called sarcomeres. Striations of repeating dark and light bands are evident along the length of each sarcomere. The dark bands are anisotropic bands, or A bands for short. These bands can polarize visible light. The light bands, or isotropic bands, or I bands for short, these bands, on the contrary, are non-light polarizing. Each A band has a lighter stripe running along its midsection called the H zone. The H zone is only visible in relaxed muscle fibers. Additionally, a dark line called the midline bisects each H zone. Just as A bands have H zones to bisect them, I bands have Z discs. Actin myofilaments, or thin myofilaments, are the primary component of the I band and extend into the A band. It looks like two strands of pearls twisted together. Myosin myofilaments, or thick myofilaments, extend through the A band and are cross-linked at the midline. They look like golf clubs. When a muscle is relaxed, the actin and myosin myofilaments lie side by side, and the H zones and I band are both at maximum width. As the muscle contracts, the actin and myosin work together. As a result, the actin myofilaments pull toward each other at the center of each myosin myofilament. Obviously, the sarcomere is shorter. Once a muscle is fully contracted, the ends of the actin myofilaments will overlap, causing the H zone to completely disappear. Simultaneously, the I band becomes very narrow. What is the difference between isometric and isotonic contractions?